So today we're doing Dad's favourite Italian team, Lazio.
Yep.
So it won on the Patreon polls, thanks to you,
Yeah, thank you very
patreon.com/OmegaLoop Gaming, where you can vote on the Patreon polls. And we can see it's a beautiful ground shared with their rivals, Roma.
Don't like this at all.
Yeah, and it is the Italian national team stadium as well. Obviously, Rome being the
They also
capital.
play all the Italia Cup finals there as well.
Yeah, which is kind of like a Wembley then, really, but Wembley as their home pitch, like Tottenham Hotspur was a couple of seasons ago. So, a club with a lot of history and a team with a club with a very interesting team, I think, at the start of this rebuild, because I would say if I had to manage an Italian team for one season, it would be Lazio, because some of the players that they've got, especially in Football Manager, is absolutely incredible. And we look at their key player here. I love Ciro Immobile.
Yeah.
He is absolutely a world-class striker. Some of the attributes that he has is just so suited for Football Manager, even his player traits.
Off the ball as well, 19 though.
Yeah.
So pace isn't there.
Yeah,
natural fitness and all
great
there,
pace and natural fit. 19 off the ball. He's a great penalty taker. Beats offside trap, gets forward whenever possible, places shots. It's all things like that that I think just make him an incredible striker in the game. The downside of it is he's 31 at the start. This is right at the start of the campaign, and he's 31 already. They also, of course, have some really fantastic centre midfielders, which we can have a look at as well, including SMS, Milinkovic-Savic, who is in the prime of his career, and he is incredible as well, especially on Football Manager.
You can build a team around him, I think.
Absolutely.
He's the right age for that, isn't he?
I think people who play Football Manager know more about him than people in real life, because I never hear people talk about him in real life, other than January transfer or in like transfer windows when clubs are linked with him. And another player exactly the same as that is Luis Alberto. I mean, the only reason why I think you might know him is because he played for Liverpool for 1 or 2 seasons, but he barely even played. And even in the second season, he didn't play at all. He played 9 games in the Premier League all the way back then. But since he's joined Lazio, he's kind of an incredible player. We can see his attribute-wise. He's one of the best attacking midfielders in the game. 28 years of age, Spanish. The reason why I say for just one season is kind of a double-edged thing, really. One, this rebuild is going to get harder as it goes on. It really is, because the demands of players, the clubs that come in for these players, the wages, and some of the age of these players, not to mention where they have some kind of weaknesses. I think they definitely have weaknesses. But 2, other clubs in Italy are really good after a few years.
Yeah.
AC Milan being one of them. They have a team where they're all about 23, 24, and they all have a little bit left in the tank potential-wise. And 9 times out of 10, whenever I do like simulations, AC Milan are up there.
Yeah. Well, one of the Milans are normally always there, aren't they? I mean, Inter Milan are there at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, they have fantastic players.
Juventus have just started to drop.
They started to drop, but you always see in Football Manager they start buying players. They get Locatelli, they get Moise Kean, very good. They start getting better as well. Atalanta are always really good.
They're doing well at the moment as well, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. So, and I think, if anything, it's one of the most competitive leagues in Football Manager. Yeah. Napoli, Roma. We haven't mentioned those teams
Roma
yet.
Got my favourite manager there.
Jose Mourinho, we're going to be up against him.
Is he going to be doing anything? I hope he does.
Yeah.
I'd like to see what he does. See him go back to that country again and try to do something.
Absolutely. I mean, so let's take a look at the transfers then that I have made so far. And there hasn't been a lot because of the money that we are given. But I made 3 signings. One was a youngster. It's called Johnny. I've loaned him straight out. I like this guy, right? Because I've done a video where he is included on it. He is a defensive midfielder called Johnny. A lot of protection.
Here comes Johnny.
We need the protection from Johnny. Always use a Johnny for protection. So he joins us as an American player from the Brazilian league that we picked up for 6.75 million. Load him out to Houston Dynamo. 4 appearances so far, 3 assists, player of the match. Looks good already. Yeah. So I think for the future-wise, because we have Lucas Leiva right now, Liverpool's ex-Lucas Leiva, as a CDM, but he's like 35, 36, and I've noticed his fitness and everything like that goes down quite quickly. Bastoni, really good left-back on the game. We can pick up for quite cheap. We have picked up for quite cheap, £2.2 million. I think left-back and right-back, they are struggling. I think that's a weakness that we have there at fullback, and it's difficult to find fullbacks that aren't at big clubs. And I've also brought back a bit of an Italian, not a legend, bit of a cult hero in Sebastian Giovinco. Now, he moved very early on in his career to the MLS, at kind of the peak of his career when he was at Juve doing very well every now and then. He would have one great season, one bad season, one great one and one bad one. He moved to Toronto.
Probably one of the players that sort of helped the MLS to come through.
He's been voted the best ever player for the MLS.
Yeah.
I think in 2020.
I remember start watching that league when he started playing.
You see his goals there, like 16, 17, like really good. He moved then to Saudi Arabia. I brought him on a free transfer because he still has something left, especially technically. He still has something left as a fringe player at 34. It's good to bring him back. So those are the 3 signings that I have made. On the outs, there's only a couple of loan deals. Raul Moro being one of them because I know this guy has a great potential and he already looks decent. I want him to get game time. Yeah. So he's gone to Nims in the French league to get game time. Tactically, this is how we're setting up. I've done a basic 4-2-3-1. It's a shadow striker, and I want Milinkovic-Savic in that shadow striker role. He can play any role in midfield, naturally, but if you put him in that attacking midfield role, where he has 15 for finishing, and he has player traits, gets into opposition area, and gets forward whenever possible.
Good vision as well, so that's what you need as well with position as well.
He is breaking into that box exactly where Ciro Immobile is in there.
It's good.
Yeah. Luis Alberto in the centre midfielder on support role, but if we take a look at the rest of the tactic, it's very bog standard for a 4-2-3-1. Positive mentality we can see. This is how I'm basically setting up in transition and out of possession. That's what it's like with no real team instructions other than things like dribble less and gets further forward on the centre midfielder just because he doesn't really get a lot. But I want him going forward as well because he's decent in attack. So that's how we're setting up. So far this season, it's been very good.
Good start.
2 difficult teams. We didn't even mention Fiorentina, who we've already done a rebuild on, and they have some quality players in there. 3-0 victory against them. Look how late the goals were as well. Pedro, 86th, Ciro Immobile, 90th, and the 92nd minute.
Hopefully that's our fitness is being good then.
Yeah, big win there. And Napoli, a 1-0 win against them. We had
we're playing in Europe as well.
Yeah. 1-0 to Napoli, 72nd minute. The Europa League we are in. Rangers, Malmo and Antwerp. We've got to be winning that group. We got to be winning that group. Yeah. And once we've won that group,
if we don't.
We should be one of the favourites to win the competition depending on who comes down. Yeah. If a stupid PSG comes down again and knocks us out, I'll be quite annoyed. But that's our setup in this first season. Let's simulate it and see how we get on. And so, first season success.
Hey, get in.
I told you, one season.
5 points.
I really like this team.
Against Juventus, eh?
So let's look at
Did you see our goal difference there?
Yeah, 73. Goals for 102 and only against 29. So not only are we great going forward, but we're quite secure going back because only Juve and it looks like Atalanta
look at the
had
top
better
teams in the top 7 as well. That's every team we've virtually mentioned there. Look.
Pretty much, yeah. And even Fiorentina, Torino, they're on the edge.
Yeah.
So 95 points, winning it by 5 points, and we dropped off at the end there. We lost 5-4 to Juve and a 2-0 to Udinese when we had already won the league and we were happy. So gotta be absolutely buzzed on that. Statistically as well, we scored the most goals by a mile. Yeah, we just did really well.
Going by that, those results you see there, I'd be disappointed if we had won something else.
Yeah, okay. Well, Ciro Immobile, 38 goals he scored in just the league alone.
Yeah.
That obviously might have not even played 38 games, but Luis Alberto, 7.59 average rating. Him and Pedro had the most assists. Pedro, another player we know quite a lot about, used to play for Chelsea, of course. He's 34 now, but he's still quality. An unbelievable talent. So yeah, we've got a lot of things successful in this first season. You mentioned other competitions. Let's see how we did. Because we were the runner-up of the cup. And look at the Europa League. I told you somebody would come down and knock us out. Liverpool. What the hell are they doing going to the Europa League? They must have had a very difficult draw in the Champions League. But let's take a look at the Coppa Italia then.
Who did we lose against?
It was Inter Milan. Very disappointing loss to Inter Milan.
Yeah.
Denzel Dumfries and Eden Dzeko there with 2 early goals. And Mariki.
I like them.
Mariki scored, which tells me one thing. Ciro Immobile did not play in the final.
No.
It's a big loss.
Yeah.
He's a massive loss. He is one of our best players, unfortunately. He is our key player. So if we're losing him for the final, we don't really stand much chances of winning something there. So I think that's quite disappointing.
Yeah.
Or just unlucky more than anything. We get Ciro Immobile, I reckon we win that final.
Yeah, definitely,
easily.
Yeah.
What I do want to take a look at then is our schedule and see where we kind of had big spells. I mean, it looks like we dominated. We lost to Malmo there, which is quite interesting. But it looks like we just dominated.
How did the games against Roma go?
Roma, we beat them 5-1.
Was that home or away?
A huge result. That is, same thing. That is a huge result where Ciro Immobile got a brace there. Milinkovic-Savic in the home leg.
Yeah.
1-0 victory, Ciro Immobile, 41st minute. But 2 losses that we had against Juve. Obviously a bit of a rivalry there with how good they are going to be. So disappointing that is. But still, very happy with how this went. We did knock out AC Milan in the Coppa Italia semi-final after a 4-4 draw in the first leg, but we got battered by Liverpool. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We went to Liverpool and we got absolutely destroyed 5-1. So we kind of crushed our dreams there for anything European.
Van Dijk scored as well. That's unusual as well, isn't it?
So we do take a look at our squad then. Goals, Ciro Immobile scored 53 of them in just 43 appearances.
Good, isn't it?
Huge.
We've got to keep him.
Yeah. Milinkovic-Savic got 19 goals, 10 assists. Zakangi got 18 goals as well. Looks like he was playing most of the time on that left-hand side. And assist-wise, Luis Alberto got the most with 19. I think he was up there with the highest average rating alongside Ciro Immobile, 7.51 average rating. Solid from the both of them. Really happy with that. But we're already starting to get a few unhappy people who want big contracts. We don't have the money for it. If we do take a look at our transfers, they're only giving us 20 million next year with not a lot of wage budget at all.
When you win the league as well, a lot more teams look at you as well and what players done what.
Yeah.
We got players like that who are scoring a amount of goals and things like that.
Yeah,
they're going to be looking at them, aren't they?
And they know they can go to another club if they want to.
Yeah,
so they're going to be asking
to pay higher wages.
money.
They're going to be asking for more money. I'll go somewhere else then, isn't it?
Absolutely. So season number 2, we're already, I think, going to find things a little bit more difficult. Viewers, if you do enjoy these rebuilds, which I know you do, you won't be here if you didn't. Of course, we have a Patreon where you can actually get a little bit involved yourself. Whether it's on the £3 tier, you get to influence the votes for future rebuilds. All of these now have been voted by the Patreon members. It's the reason why we're doing it. That's the £3 tier. Or if you go to the £5 tier, you actually get the save game file as well, and occasionally early access to watch these videos.
Where we save the game and someone else can play it then. That's good.
Exactly. We've had it a couple of times where we've built the nation, or like Southampton takeover in the West Ham one.
Yeah.
People are wanting to get hold of that. You can. £5 is all it costs. I mean, all of these videos are obviously going to stay free and always going to be on YouTube. It's just if you want that added extra of influencing the votes and, of course, getting the save game files. Thank you very much to all my Patreon members. Honestly, I really do appreciate it. So if we take a look at our ins then, only £30 million was spent. We've seen we had £20 million in the budget. It's because I've had to play around with the wage budget to give some of these players extended contracts.
Yeah.
So if we take a look at our biggest signing then, Luka Ivanusek. I feel like we needed extra legs in the wing. We're using Pedro, who's like 35.
Yeah.
We need somebody who's a little bit extra. This guy's a bit of a hidden gem, really. He's 23, he's in the Croatian league to begin with, and he has some fantastic physical attributes at the start of the game, that 20 balance with decent pace and acceleration and agility, and he's very good at dribbling too. Some great player traits. Yeah, absolutely. Plays across the front three as well, something that we obviously need a little bit of added stuff there. From Dynamo Zagreb, so we picked him up for £10 million in total, 1 assist in 1 game so far.
Goals as well, yeah.
Yeah. We also needed another goalkeeper. Pepe Reina left us on a free transfer, didn't want to sign a new deal, left us on a free transfer, and our backup goalkeeper, Shakosha, I would dare say he's not that great. So we've gone for another Croatian player. This one's a bit of a bargain pickup though. At 30 years of age, he looked quite talented goalkeeper, and we picked him up for £2.9 million from Ludogorets. Nice little steal. On a free transfer though, De Sciglio, who was like touted to be one of really good fullback a long time ago, but he's turned out to be like a bit of a fringe player now. He's moved from Milan to Juve, had a bit of a loan spell. We've got him on a free transfer. I think he's good enough to be a good squad player for us, and at the age of 29 still has a bit left in the tank, and a very cheap wage is what really attracted me to him. And being Italian, there's a lot of like different rules and regulations. I've tried avoiding signing like non-EU players because I don't quite understand the rule. It's very difficult. Yeah. So I avoided that. And we also loaned Pobega, who is a Milan player, 23 years of age. To be honest, like they put him on the loan list, and I thought I'm going to take him because like we're not paying him too many wages. He's only 7.5k a week, and he's a very quality player. And that's like a squad player. Why not?
Yeah,
when we brought him in, he was on loan at Torino last season. He did all right there. So just as a backup, I think it's a good deal. We didn't have anybody else. Whacking Corey was already a done deal, so it's over to the squad page. So tactically, I think we stay the same because of course we won the league. The tactics seemed very good. We barely conceded any goals. We scored a lot. The only thing that I want to change though is Lucas Leiva is on the way out. We have changed a role in here to an advanced playmaker. The reason for that is a promise we have have been given to Luis Alberto to play him in the centre midfield with an advanced playmaker role. He wanted that in his contract. If I don't give him that, he's going to be annoyed. We also have to win a domestic cup for both him and Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. His two promises I had to make when I was giving him new deals. This is where I say it starts to get a little bit more difficult because of things like this. So if we go back to the tactics screen, that's why I've made a slight change there. I've brought in Johnny from his loan deal. Now, he hasn't progressed that well, but he seems to have done okay when he was out on loan. In the 13 games he played, because it was only at the end of the MLS season, 2 goals, 5 assists, 2 man of the matches with a good average rating.
Yeah.
I want to give him some game time. Let's see if the Johnny can protect us, and we'll see how he does going forward, the American. But on the right-hand side, this is what I'm really happy with. Raul Moro has progressed amazingly while he was out on loan in the French League 2. 14 goals. Yes.
That is good.
As an 18-year-old and 9 assists. Arguably the best player in the league, I would dare say. He probably won some awards. It's good to bring him back and give him that game time. I think he deserves it. So we're going to see how he does. But Milinkovic-Savic still in that role as well. Leaving that one free, just like Luis Alberto will probably be picked there most of the time. But I think this is definitely the way to go. Schedule-wise then, we've had a great start. 5-1 victory against the team Salernitana. I want to say, probably got that wrong. 4-1 against Empoli away. Milinkovic-Savic and Immobile both getting a brace. And Fiorentina again a 2-0 win. SMS and Andre Anderson with a 91st minute. But a draw against Parma after they took the lead early. Immobile with an 82nd minute equaliser. It's not a bad result, but it is dropping points that we probably shouldn't be. And competitions-wise, that does see us in 4th place
League,
here.
you're right.
Champions League.
We've got a good chance of going through.
Yeah, it's very much 3 of the very similar clubs in club stature-wise in the Champions League. Leipzig, Lyon, Lazio, I'd say.
Yeah, they're all behind someone, aren't they?
Yeah,
another top team
I would
in
say
their country.
like the second or third best team in the league, the best of the rest. Then of course Rangers. Although we did obviously win the league, I wouldn't say Lazio would be known as that. So yeah, I think we stand a good chance of going through the Champions League. But if we don't qualify Champions League, I would say we're probably going to guarantee ourselves Europa League football, and we'll see how we do with that. So let's simulate the second season. Well, things did not go as planned. Unfortunately, we've dropped down.
Long way down.
Yeah, we're still above Roma.
That's good.
That is a positive.
Yeah.
Sassuolo is the random team, the
Yeah.
surprise team that's come in there with 73 points. What I would say about this is we are only 3 points behind 3rd place, 6 points behind Inter. But you're gonna mention it. Our run at the end of the season there is not great.
No, that's what's lost us, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 draws at the end there.
Yeah.
You win a couple of them and you've gone into 3rd. I mean, Juve kind of run away with it.
8 points we dropped as well. That puts you in 2nd place, doesn't it?
Yeah, Juve kind of run away with it. They were 9 points clear of us, but only 3 points ahead of Inter. It's a very tight top of the table.
Our goal difference. What a difference from last season. That is a big drop as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and I'm not quite sure.
That's
I mean,
what's
we're
cost us
playing a
probably.
very similar tactic with the similar players. It's hard to decipher what it actually is. Statistically, we still scored the most goals in the league by a mile. We still had the most shots. But I think it was the conceded which cost us. We're not even in the top 8. So defensively is where it's cost us.
Yeah.
Is that because we are playing Johnny and he's not protecting us? We didn't read the packet properly. It's only a 99% chance it's protection.
This is true.
So maybe that is the cause of that. But we're in other competitions, Dad. We obviously had some promises we need to keep with domestic cups.
And we had a good groups. We was in a good group. We got a good chance of going through, so we might have got through to the knockout stages.
Well, let's take a look. Because we were knocked out of the quarter-final of the Coppa Italia by AC Milan, which is a bad draw. But we did qualify for the Champions League. However, we were knocked out by Marseille, a team I'd really expect to win. I mean, Man United and Barcelona in the final there is something that I would ever dream of as a Manchester United fan. But the first round knockout, we lost 4-3 on aggregate to Marseille. We lost the away leg 2-1, unfortunately. So
That's bad.
that is a bad result for us, I would say. So, yeah, I mean, squad-wise, what I do want to highlight, look at this. Devastated, very unhappy. A lot of these is our first team.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, a lot of these. You can see the players that we have secured in, they are all devastated.
Yeah.
Whether it's because of how bad we've played, or whether it's because, I mean, here, wants a new deal to reflect his ability. That is a problem I come across at the end of this second season. So many players want to leave. Unhappy promises were broken because they didn't win the league. That's down to them at the end of the day, really, isn't it? I mean, all the happy players are the ones that were just given game time to. I mean, Ciro Immobile, delighted. So he's happy to be at the club. Yeah. That's one good factor. But it's the rest of this team where we are struggling.
Problem is when you've got a few that's not very happy as well, it's a bad atmosphere in the club, isn't it? And
yeah.
We've heard a lot about that in teams in this country.
We've heard a lot about that with Lazio.
Yeah, true,
Let's look back to the 90s. One of the most famous players, especially in England, to ever play.
This is why they are my favourite team, because
Paul Gascoigne.
Paul Gascoigne left Spurs, went to Lazio at the same time as Channel 4, which is a TV channel in our country, started playing, showing live games, Italian football. So obviously I'm going to follow Lazio, because that's where Gascoigne is.
Yeah.
And you've got players that are not very happy, and Gascoigne was one of them. He was overweight, I would say.
Overweight. I remember seeing something where the manager said to him, he picked up an injury, and the manager said to him, go on holiday and rest. And he said, don't send me on holiday. They sent him on holiday, and he came back overweight, and he said, I told you not to send me on holiday.
The problem with Gascoigne, though, he's such a character. We all know the things that he got on with the England team and all that, but it was a little story that I heard that he pinched the coach's whistle.
Right.
And the coach is looking for his whistle and he can't find it anywhere. And anyway, he comes out onto the training ground and there's a goose running around the pitch with a whistle on his neck. He just went Gascoigne.
I mean, because I think Italians as well, maybe they are quite funny people in like their own culture, but I wouldn't say they're a Gascoigne type of wind-up merchants.
To be honest,
he's one of a kind.
He probably ripped Lazio apart. The players are there, and they just thought, "What the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Who is this player?"
Because he's too much for English people.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So I mean, we've got a very weird sense of humour, which is obviously Gascoigne's like turned up to 11 with.
Yeah.
And some of the things like wind-up merchants, like he is the king of that. We've heard so much.
In the 90s, the Italian football was so good and it was so serious that they brought their culture to England. I think some of their players and come over across to the Premier League and brought the culture that they live in, and they changed the Premier League. Really.
It's something that when I look at Italian football, it's like I respect them because of the main reason, professionalism.
Yeah, 100%.
They are the most professional. Them and Germany, the most professional nations I think in the world for football, and you can see that with the players that they have. If you think about the 90s that we're talking about, I mean, Nesta was at the same club as Gascoigne. He is a very professional player.
Yeah.
You have the likes of Maldini in the league and people like that.
Oh yeah.
Pirlo, these model professionals. Gascoigne doesn't fit in that. He does not fit in that. So I think, we are coming to a point in this save, bringing it back to the rebuild, where we have got a lot of trouble here and it needs to be sorted out. But if you look, all the Italians, they're all happy.
Yeah.
And if you go, there's only a few Italians because they're not playing. That's the reason why. Cataldi, Bastoni, Lazzari, they're not first team players. All of the ones that are Italians that are first team players, they're delighted. It's the Serbian there, Milinkovic-Savic unhappy, Raul Moro. It's the different nations. I don't know whether it's like the type of thing, but I know there's like hidden attributes in Football Manager like professionalism, sportsmanship, temperament that all relates to how much they can deal with before they become unhappy. And I think this is what we're seeing here.
Definitely in trouble, yeah.
So season 3, I've got a massive job on my hands. But before we take a look at that, Dad, quickly like target, please.
I'm gonna go for 1100.
1100. Let's see if you can hit 1100, please. So season number 3 then. I had a little bit more in the transfer kitty, but not a lot. We had £25 million on the outs, and you can see a few names here that I mentioned earlier who were unhappy. Not going out for a lot of money. They weren't first team football players, luckily, so we've kept hold of them.
Yeah.
But who have we brought in to go alongside them? We spent £64 million. Benjamin Sesko is the first name. We've seen this player before in the Benfica rebuild. He was the striker who tore it up for Benfica. This guy's a very good youngster. He's 20 years of age, Slovenian, got some great physical attributes, has okay technicals and mentals, but he's someone now to challenge up front. I think we've seen it already. When Immobile is out injured, we don't score goals.
No, you need someone else.
Exactly. So Benjamin Sesko is the guy for that. From the same club, Luka Sucic. We've seen him as well before in the Fiorentina one. So I know he's good.
Yeah.
And another Croatian, So I know he's good in this league. I've used him before. He's going to be another guy that can go alongside SMS and Luis Alberto as an attacking midfielder because he's got very good attributes for that. Gets forward whenever possible. Another player player trait that I love to see. Again, 20 years of age, and we picked him up, I think, for rather cheap considering how much he's worth now. And then I felt like we needed to overhaul the defence a little bit.
Yeah.
We started struggling here. Sebastian Coates used to be another Liverpool player, 32 years of age, Uruguayan. He has some of the best mental attributes for a defender I've ever seen. He might not be there for pace, only 12 for pace, but 10 acceleration.
Experience.
But what he has is experience. Yeah. The 19 bravery, the 18 positioning.
Good solid player as well.
Leadership, heading, 6'5". He's a monster, towering player. That's what we need. People to sort him out of the back. He's very Italian, really, I'd say. Not the quickest, but it's all up there, isn't it?
Yeah,
defending. To go alongside him, pace. Ibrahim Konate. The opposite, really. Doesn't have the best mentals. He's got decent mentals. But what he has is raw pace and strength, and he's 6'4". We picked him up from Liverpool. It's a very Liverpool thing around here.
Good player to be around him, yeah.
Exactly. 11.75 million. He was transfer listed from barely playing last season, so I'm glad we picked him up. Now a youngster, Nemanja Jovic, who is a Serbian 21-year-old who can play out on that left-hand side. Another backup winger, I think, or somebody maybe you can break into that first team alongside Raul Moro and Ivan Youssef, because Pedro, I think it's too late now to play Pedro.
Yeah.
We need more legs. And goalkeeper, we sold Strakosha, £2 million. He wanted to go, so I brought in Dragowski, keeper I have used a lot.
Yeah.
Bartholomew Dragowski from Fiorentina. The fact that he is this cheap, it's daylight robbery, really, because I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper with a very good potential. So now I need to talk to you about tactics because I've decided to change it.
Ooh. Here we go then.
This is weird. We're going for a 3 at the back, a 3 in midfield, 2-2. I've never seen this before, but I'm trying it. I'm trying it because I think we have too many good players in the attacking formation and we really didn't have a lot of good fullbacks. So we've gone for 3 at the back. We've brought in 3 really good centre-backs recently. So 2 wide centre-backs to give us the width to stop wingers. We've got the midfield, the Mazzala on support, SMS, centre midfield on attack, Luis Alberto. You can see my thinking here with Benjamin Sesko up top with Ciro Immobile, who's going to be sat in there. So I think we need to go for this. It's a risk, but I'm willing to take it.
Change as good as a rest sometimes.
So far, it's been okay. A draw with Fiorentina. It's not a bad result because Fiorentina get better.
The result I'm going to pick up on here is the first result on that screen.
Tottenham in a friendly. Yeah. We beat Juve in a friendly using this.
Yeah.
So there we go. And a Udinese, a 2-1 victory. Yeah.
Good start.
I want to show you the goals for this.
Yeah.
The reason for it is the quality of goals that you're going to see here from our 2 goals alone. Luis Alberto pulls it across. Ciro Immobile, banging header. This is where this tactic's good.
Be free in that position.
Yeah.
There.
But look at this for a finish. This goal is absolutely insane. Gets headed out. Luis Alberto, bang.
Oh, top corner, get in.
In off the crossbar. A fantastic goal to set us off this season. So I'm really happy with that.
Just watching that game there and seeing the colours of the strips and that, the light blue. Do you know why Lazio play in blue and white?
I don't know.
When they were started off in 1900, the football team wasn't brought into the club until another year. Because they've done canoeing and cycling and swimming.
So it's similar to the Slavia Prague situation.
Yeah, and that's what they were called, a sporting society. That's what the SS Lazio stands for.
I've always wondered what the SS is for.
So they started other sports, and the people that started Lazio, they were interested in other sports.
Yeah.
Hence, the blue and white strip comes from the Greece flag.
Oh, okay.
The Greece flag because Greece were the people that started the Olympics.
Ah, so that's the
the Olympics is all different doing sports and all that, and that's what the sports society was all about.
Yeah, and they play at the Olympic Stadium.
Well, that comes along into that as well. Yeah, but that's where they got the blue and white strip from, is to do with the Greece flag.
Oh wow, I've always wondered.
Yeah.
It's a lovely kit. They've always had very nice kits across the years.
Yeah.
I do find it weird that they don't have a sponsor right now. I do prefer kits with sponsors, I must say.
Yeah.
A good sponsor can make or break a kit.
Oh, definitely.
We've seen like United's one this year is awful because their sponsor is terrible. But like Italian kits are really well known for the amazing sponsors, the amazing kits. You've got Fiorentina with a Nintendo, or like Pirelli and Inter Milan.
Pirelli,
it's fantastic, isn't it? So I mean, even Lazio, they've had some really nice kits back in the day. The one with Gascoigne is really nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I've almost bought it myself, but so yeah, it does make or break a kit. But that is quite an interesting like little situation there. So other competitions, then we've been given our Europa League group. We're back in Europa League. It's a very easy group. Sturm Graz, Olympiakos, Legia Warsaw. We should be getting through that very comfortably.
Definitely, yeah.
So, simulate this third season. Let's see how we do. So, at the end of the third season, we're back close to the top. close
points.
being it. Yeah, 2 points. Look how bad our end of the run.
Oh no! Look at our last 4 games of the season. Look.
Yeah, a draw to Milan, a loss to Sassuolo, and a draw to Atalanta. That Sassuolo game,
that 1 game lost us the league, didn't it?
It lost us the league because Juve were very good until that final game there, where they drew to Sassuolo.
I'll tell you what, though, if we hadn't lost that game, that would have made the last week of that league really interesting.
So interesting, yeah.
With Juve drawing as well, if we'd won, we'd have won the league.
Yeah. So yes,
and we could come third as well.
Roma.
Big rivalries.
Huge rivalry.
This goes back to 1927 when in Rome they tried to amalgamate the 3 teams.
Okay, yeah.
Into 1 team.
Right.
And Lazio said no, they didn't want to do it.
Oh God.
So the other 2 teams did.
Yeah.
That's where the
AS Roma
comes from. Yeah. And the Lazio didn't. So because of that, there's a rivalry between, and it's a big. I mean, a real bad rivalry. It goes as far as saying that the Roma fans do not like the Lazio fans. They call them peasants.
Right.
And on a documentary, someone come on there and said that they were savages that lived in caves.
Oh,
Lazio fans.
That's not great, is it?
But because Lazio is a region in Roma.
Yeah.
And so they just don't like them at all.
No.
And the crowd trouble they get. There's been people killed at these games.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah. I remember some people saying like most underrated derbies for like violence and stuff. Yeah. People don't speak about the Rome derby enough.
No, they don't. I don't think people outside of Italy
realise
how big this game is.
Yeah.
To two teams.
Do you know why? A reason I think for that is because Lazio doesn't like come across as they're from Rome. No. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you got AC Milan, Inter Milan. Yeah, you know they're both from Milan. So in your head you already associate them.
Derby,
yeah. But like for I know from like when growing up, I didn't know Lazio was from Rome until I was a little bit older, and I learnt more about probably through Football Manager that they were rivalries.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I mean that's quite a silly situation there. But what is I just clicked on Roma here. Jogi Löw is their new manager. So Jose Mourinho has been sacked. He has gone. I will take a look at it. He was gone in that first season after 126 days in charge.
Yeah.
Gone straight away. Out the door.
Yeah.
So he is now the manager of France. How's he landed the France job?
He's one of those. I was asked a question back along whether I'd like him to be, because people know I do like him and that. And so some of my friends said to me, "What would you think if he was the England manager?" And I thought, I just don't know. I just don't like foreign managers being in charge of a different
national team. Yeah.
As much as I like him, I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
If you're from France, you should have a France manager.
Yeah.
And because when you see them standing there singing the national anthem at a game like in the World Cup, and you look across and the manager's not French.
I always think
English,
it's bad. Like what if Jose and France go up against Portugal?
Yeah.
What's he gonna think then?
Is he gonna pick? I'm gonna pick this team because they're not quite fit.
Yeah. You don't know, do you? There's so many match fixing things going on in football.
In Italy, there's been quite a bit about it over the years, and Lazio did come across it. That happened to them a couple of times. They got done for that. So I didn't want to touch on that, but it did.
It has happened. It has happened.
Yeah.
Other competitions, then we haven't won a cup yet. We're in the Europa League. Surely we have done better.
Come on.
We are the winners of the Coppa Italia.
Yes.
We beat Inter Milan in the final as well. A 4-1 victory.
And we would have played that game at home.
We would have, yeah. Luka Jovic scored for Inter Milan, but a Ciro Immobile hat-trick after, because Luka Jovic scored the first goal of the game, and an SMS goal in the 57th. Secured the victory. So, I mean, Immobile got man of the match. He had a 10 out of 10 rating, and we dominated the game as well.
Not a bad season, really. Come second, nearly won the league, and won the
absolutely.
The cup,
If you look at our statistics, we had 23 shots and 11 on target with a 4 XG. Expected goals is 4.
They only have 3 shots on target.
Yeah, so we were expected to win the game. We were expected to dominate, and we did that. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but the other competitions, we were knocked out by AC Milan in the Europa League. In the quarter-final, which was won by Sporting, who beat Real Madrid.
Get on, well done.
Big win for Sporting. We got a lot of Sporting fans.
Yeah, we
always
have,
write in the comments, Sporting Porto as well. They are in Patreon polls. If you want to influence them, you know where to go. So, not bad season, I would say. Let's take a look at the goals then, because 48 of them come from Ciro Immobile, 32 of them come from Benjamin Sesko. Not bad combination.
80 goals in 2 players.
80 goals
you
just
can't
from
argue
the
with
2.
That.
No. SMS chipping in with 15 as well. Assist-wise, Luis Alberto with 22. Raul Moro with 16. SMS with 13 as as well as Ciro Immobile. Now, Dan, we're in the Champions League in season number 4 again, which meant a little bit of money for the transfer kitty. Yeah. However, one big problem I come across straight away, Dragowski, our goalkeeper. We had a few offers from Bayern Munich come in and he wanted to leave. You can't blame him if Bayern Munich are winning things elsewhere. I don't really know. I haven't really looked when I sold him.
Thinking of a little bit more loyal, really. I mean, we come second in the league. We won the home cup type of thing.
Yeah.
And we're in the Champions League now, so a bit disappointed, really.
It is, yeah. £15 million. We did make a profit out of him after the 2 years. 1 year really, because he played 2 games and then that's when he decided to leave.
Yeah.
He actually left on deadline day, so I had to make a goalkeeper signing on deadline day. That's a lot harder than what you expect it to be. But I have replaced him, so let's take a look. I brought in a Football Manager favourite, Walker Fariniez, Venezuelan. Now, luckily, he doesn't count for the non-EU thing because he's been playing in France for so long. He counts as a French national, so it got rid of that situation, so I was happy with that. But we picked him up for a fairly cheap cost as well, £10 million from Lens. He's not as good as Dragowski, but it's the best that I could get for around about £10 million. That's all we had in the transfer kitty left when Dragowski decided he needed to leave and wanted to move. So I decided to make the big decision of getting rid of the player who was unhappy and bringing in someone who wanted to play for us.
Fair enough.
Which I know is something that you prefer to do.
We got a good defence, so
yeah,
that'll help him.
Speaking of that defence, the big signing this summer was Merih Demiral. This guy, I think, is very underrated, and in Football Manager it shows as well. He is fantastic. Some great attributes. I love the aggression, anticipation, bravery there.
Turkish players are always like that.
Oh God,
solid, in there.
Yeah. I mean,
can't go wrong with them.
Galatasaray right now, as we're speaking, are winning the polls. Yeah. When I put that Galatasaray in the polls, Fenerbahce fans weren't happy about it.
No,
so I do apologise. That might be something we'll come across. So there we go. But yeah, going back to Demiral, I think he's a great defender. We picked him up as well from Atalanta. He moved to Juve from Sassuolo. A big move there. Never really got the game time. Moved to Atalanta. This season, he's been playing class in real life. I'm pleased for him. I think he's good.
Yeah.
We have made the move. £25 million at the last year of his contract, and he's been doing really good for us, I think, so far. So I think he's a quality player. Take us to that next level as well. Not the only sign that we made, because João Palhinha, what I think is quite interesting, of course, we've seen the Europa League was won by Sporting against Real Madrid, wasn't it? This player is a Sporting player who moved to Real Madrid and lost to them in the final. But he is a very good CDM. I don't think Johnny's good enough as protection.
No.
Do not use Johnny. Do not use Johnny as your big protection, because João Palhinha, I think, might be a better option for us. £15 million we spent on him from Real Madrid. He didn't play that much. I'd argue to say he deserved to, because he's a quality player.
He looks good, yeah.
Yeah, 6'3" as well. A lot of really good mentals. That 16 tackling and passing marking is what I like to love about him a lot. So, bit of a towering figure in midfield. He's going to cover a lot of ground. I like that a lot. The final signing was a free transfer. We had to pay a little bit of compensation fee. Is a backup striker, Adam Hloschek. We know about this guy quite a lot in the Slavia Prague rebuild. He obviously was the Sparta Prague main player who caused us a lot of problems.
22-year-old, he's got 33 caps. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, he actually played against England in the Euros recently.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Played very well for the Czech Republic during the Euros. So a lot of big future for that man. So tactically, we're sticking with this very bizarre, because we did all right in the league and we won the cup. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with it. We're just not securing as many roles anymore. Raul Moro's going to play on that right-hand side because he's getting better and better every single season. He looks fantastic. Some big offers coming in for him as well that we had to ignore. The three at the back, of course, we got so many good players in there now, and Walker Fariniez in the net. Schedule-wise, we started off okay. We beat Lecce, I think it's how you pronounce it, 3-1. Milinkovic-Savic with 2, Immobile with 1. But we lost to Bologna, even though they went down to 10 men after 3 minutes. It's a bad result, really. Yeah. But I'm still hotly anticipating a good result. Champions League.
Say, look who we got in there. Look.
Barcelona.
We're fighting for one place, really, aren't we?
Yes. Basel, we shouldn't have to worry about too much. We should easily beat Basel. But Porto is kind of on the same level as us, I think, again. Barcelona, depending on whether they've made some good signings and whether they've developed their youngsters.
We got our 3 or 4 years in now. Player to go for it, get us through that.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be up for it against Porto. He's going to be up for it against Barcelona. Okay, let's simulate this 4th season and see how we do. And the end of the 4th season, it's another Champions League result, but we've dropped in behind 3rd place to Atalanta. Milan taking the league title. I mentioned, didn't I?
Yeah.
After 3 or 4 seasons, their team is disgusting if they keep hold of their players.
Finish above Roma again.
One place above Roma.
Yeah.
Every season, I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I know how much it will mean to Lazio fans.
I'll say our goal difference is still good as well. So
it's the best in the league.
Yeah.
We scored the most goals in the league again. 88 is the most. I think, like, at the end of the season, we drew against Milan, so it's not like, oh, we dropped points there.
Yeah.
Because we drew against the champions at the end of the day, even though they had won it by 15 points. It just goes to show how good they were.
They were already champions as well. We drew against them as well,
And we actually beat them early on in the season. They had 3 losses. All of them were 1-0s.
Yeah.
So one against Inter Milan as well. So I bet that didn't go down too well. But they still managed to win the league. That's the most important thing. Juve dropping all the way down to 7th despite winning the league last season.
So we've done better than them, really.
Yeah, massively. Did really well compared to them. Inter down in 6th as well. So Sassuolo are still hanging around it like a bad smell.
Yeah.
Really are. Other competitions, though. We've got a cup to try and retain. We did it.
Get in.
Yes. Back to back. We've got to be happy with that. After extra time against Roma.
Oh, what a final that would have been.
What a final. After extra time. A huge result. Luca Romero. Now, what's even more special about this and what the Lazio fans are going to go absolutely nuts for is Luca Romero is a youth academy prospect. He is currently in their youth academy right now. He has just signed for Lazio, coming through. I think he's like 16 or 17 at the start. Yeah. He is 20 years of age, coming on and scoring the winner for Lazio in the Coppa Italia. He goes down as a hero already.
I love seeing local boys come through.
Yes.
And doing something like that.
So he has made a name for himself there.
Oh, he'll be hero in Lazio the rest of his life.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? He will never have to pay for a pint again in Rome unless he goes into a Roma bar.
Or buy a pizza.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, he did fantastic for us. And he played a bit of a big part, to be honest. We loaned him out last season. 26 games he scored 4 goals. I kept him here this season as like a good backup. And he's did all right. 13 games. He didn't get that good average rating, but it was only 2 starts.
Yeah.
But scoring the goal on the cup final, that will do, son. That will do. So, a great result there. Benjamin Sesko getting a brace as well. The other competitions, though, Barcelona, who we had in our group, we face in the quarterfinal again. It's very rare that happens.
I would say that's a bit of bad luck, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very rare that happens. If we do take a look, Real Madrid beat Barcelona in the final, so Spanish El Clasico there. So not a bit of a unfortunate result.
All the tournaments there. Did you see that we won the Super Cup as well?
Yeah, against Juve as well. Big result.
That is a big result, really.
Yeah, because that's played during middle of the season, the Super Cup, which is a very bizarre thing. I don't think it happens in many other countries. No. Usually it's right at the start, that's what kicks off the season, like it does here in England. But yeah, it's played really in the middle of the season. And I've got a feeling
for the fans as well,
I've got a feeling the Italians take the Super Cup a lot more serious than other nations do. Over here, we don't see it as anything, do we?
No, the Charity
If Man
Shield.
United won the Charity Shield, I don't give a crap.
I think that's the problem with probably the Charity Shield in this country, is because it's the beginning of the season, not all the players are fit, because some of them have been on international duty.
They're not back.
They're not even back yet. They're still on holiday.
Yeah, and a lot of haven't made transfers yet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Italians have probably got that right. Play it in mid-season, they take it serious.
Yeah.
So then the fans take it serious.
Yeah.
Because then it's the cup
You're in
winners.
serious mode, middle of the season.
It's the cup winner versus the league winner. They're going to want to be the best team in that league for that season then, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you were telling me something that I did find quite interesting before we actually started, which you haven't mentioned yet, is the Europa League used to be called the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, Cup Winners' Cup, yeah.
Lazio were the last ever team to win it.
Last ever team to win it, yeah.
And obviously the Cup Winners' Cup was a lot more important back then.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
It wasn't classed as a secondary cup.
Well, I mean, you had to be like the top cup. The top cup in your country would go through. So, like in our country, it was the FA Cup. So they were all proper teams that going through, and that they played in that competition only. Yeah. If you got knocked out, you're out. You didn't drop down to Europa League or Europa League final. The
Conference League
and all that. Yeah, you're out. You're out.
Yeah.
So it was the best. It was the best cup game, cup competition going then as well.
Absolutely.
They probably still got the trophy in their cabinet then.
Yeah, probably do, yeah. So if we do take a look at this then, the quarter-final, we lost to Barcelona 2-1 over the 2 legs. It's a bit disappointing. We did beat Lyon 6-1, which I think is really good, to be honest. Barcelona knocked out Liverpool, and then they went all the way to the final. They knocked out PSG as well. This Barcelona team, it's still got Xavi at the helm, and it's just very good now. Yeah, so they've built a big squad.
I'll be surprised if he lasts the whole season.
Yeah. I'd like for him to do. I like Xavi.
Just going to say, it'd be a shame if he don't.
I just want to see it. Liverpool manager, Conte. It's never Klopp, is it? It's never Klopp.
No, hang on a minute. When did
He's
he
not at
Spurs?
Spurs. He's not at Spurs.
Who's at Spurs then?
Let's take
Can
a
you
look.
find out?
They currently don't have a manager, and I think it's because they're not in the European competitions that I'm in. I can't see who it is.
Yeah.
But Conte resigned, and now he finds himself at Liverpool, unfortunately. Goals-wise then, Ciro Immobile scored 50 goals in 52 appearances, despite being one half of a strike partnership. Insane numbers. 19 goals only for Benjamin Sesko, 14 for Luis Alberto, and on the assist, Raul Morel there, 24. One thing I do want to check before we go into that final season, Ciro Immobile's been doing insane. We don't normally check it. I want to check Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Ciro Immobile won 3 Ballon d'Ors in a row. Maybe we need to check this more often. Some people always mention in the comments, like, oh, one of you won Ballon d'Or.
When you look at the players that come second and third as well.
Yeah, insane. Kane even came third, so miracles.
Yeah.
Mo Salah there in the second season to Erling Haaland, and in that third season, Ronaldo, who was 38 at the time, then Erling Haaland. Lewandowski won it this year. Ciro Immobile was nowhere to be seen, which that's questionable.
Yeah.
But 3 years in a row, I told you he's a great player. Yeah. So, we are now in the 5th and final season. Despite being in the Champions League 2 years in a row, we still only had around about £30 million in the transfer budget. And we have to offer some new contracts because our players are demanding new contracts, more money.
Yeah.
I've decided I want to go back to having some kind of fullbacks and wingbacks. Although attacking-wise, we are deadly.
Yeah.
Defensively, we need that security down the wing. So we have made 4 signings, all 4 of them are fullbacks. Ooh. 2 on the right, 2 on the left. Starting off with Dodo, £15 million from PSG. Was not getting used because they probably still got Hakimi. He is a world class when he is used right back.
And we like our Brazilians.
We like our Brazilians. It's the first one. I had to get it in. On the left-hand side, we've got 2 very capable who I would dare say are probably around about the same. Tsimikas, who's been playing really well since Robertson's been out for Liverpool. He is very good on this game as well. So, again, a really cheap option. £4.8 million. He went to Napoli. Didn't play a lot. £4.8 million I think is good. An ex-Barcelona La Masia left-back, Alex Grimaldo. Very good on the start of this game. He moved to Inter Milan. Went back to Barcelona at one point as well. Went to Inter Milan. We've got him for £6.75 million. We're picking up scraps here. I can't believe how cheap I'm getting some of these players. And this guy as a backup right-back, as a free transfer, is not bad at all.
No.
So, tactically, we had no outs either. We've managed to keep hold of all of our players that I've been using for our first team. Tactically, we're looking like this. We've gone very narrow. Now, I have used a tactic, or what I basically did was I looked on a website to see a tactic which looked really good to suit the players that we had, because I don't think we have the wingers for it anymore. I don't think the wingers played that much big of a part. And I wanted to play both Benjamin Sesko and Ciro Immobile up top without losing the fact that we had 3 in midfield.
Yeah.
So I've come up with this based on something that I have seen, and I've changed some roles and some of the instructions to suit us. Raul Morel plays in a false 9, which is very Pep Guardiola-like, but this time he doesn't have 2 wingers around him, he has 2 strikers, SMS in the shadow striker role. We've got some weird and wacky results here, but this is what the tactic kind of looks like. We're playing through the middle, we're trying to exploit overloads in the middle with how good we are going through the middle. If I take a look at the schedule-wise, I dare say it's been very good. 4-0 against Torino, we looked incredible, yeah. Empoli, 5-2 victory, and they scored 2 rather late-ish goals after we were 4-0 up, and then Tsimikas scored in the 91st minute. So, Champions League group, we've got Liverpool in there and Antonio Conte, but yeah, young boys in Genk, we should be finishing second. So I dare say we should be in with a good chance. It's just whether this tactic carries us.
Do you know what I want to say? If we win the league,
yeah, that
would be an achievement, because Lazio have only won Serie A twice before we started our 5-year.
We've won it once.
We've won it once. So if we win the league this year, we match that within 5 years.
That's true. Yeah, that is very true.
So
how many have Roma won? Do we know? I want to see. So if we take a look then, if Roma has won it more, they've won it 3 times. So we are currently on the same Serie A titles as Roma.
More of a reason we need to win it then.
More of a reason. They've won 9 Coppa Italias. I'm curious now. We've won 9 Coppa Italias. It goes down to the final season. This is right on Knife Edge, viewers.
Come on.
Make sure you're smashing that like button. You do not get drama like this anywhere else. This is soap opera stuff on Football Manager. Amazing. Okay, final season.
The Eagles.
Let's see how we do.
Come on.
So the final season, get in! Yes! More Serie A's! We've got more Serie A's to Roma, who dropped all the way down to 8th. Oh, Roma fans.
Where are they?
I'm so sorry. Who's the peasant? No, I shouldn't say that.
Oh, no.
We dominated, Dad. 97 points. Only 3 losses to Juve, Torino, and Udinese. 4 draws. Our form was fantastic.
Goal difference.
Goal difference was great as well. We scored 117. Well, we were very good going through the midfield, clearly.
They obviously couldn't handle us going through the middle, could
exactly. But when we beat them in Serie A titles, do we need a win in a cup, though? Have we won the cup?
Come on.
We were knocked out of the semi-final of the cup.
Oh, by Milan.
If only, just not be Roma. It wasn't. It was Milan. Milan won it the final season, but we've got more Serie A titles. We've matched them with Coppa Italia's, with the 2 that we've won previously, taking us up to 9. So that is great. In the first round knockout stage, we're knocked out by Sporting. Yeah, PSG won the final against Real Madrid. That's a disappointing result there.
Just didn't do nothing in Europe, really.
Nah, 5-3. We either come up against someone good or we just play terrible there. It's a bit unfortunate for Lazio, but that's the way it goes. Domestically, I think we were very good.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Goals-wise, I think this is quite incredible. Ciro Immobile scored 40. Raul Moro in the false 9 scored 35. Benjamin Sesko got 30.
110 goals.
110 goals between the 3 players. And Raul Moro actually got the second most assists as well.
Yeah.
Luis Alberto getting the most there. So, I mean, absolutely fantastic. Ciro Immobile is a god. 36 years of age and he's playing like that.
He is great.
So, I love him. I really do. He's one of my favourite strikers on the game. So, Dan, what do you think? I think this is a great rebuild. It had a patch in the middle where I was getting worried.
I'm chuffed to bits, mate, because Lazio, I've always said to you, Lazio's always been my favourite Italian side. So to do that for the fans,
yes, come on, that is great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching, Dad. Like target, remind us again.
I forgot.
It's 1100.
That's
I
1100.
remember. It's 1100 that you have to hit.
Yeah.
Make sure you go over to the Patreon page should you want to get involved, or you want the save game file. Maybe you want to win that 10th Coppa Italia for Lazio and defeat Roma in both Serie A's and Coppa Italia's. We've done the Serie A title for you. You can do the Coppa Italia. That's on the £5 tier, or £3 if you want to get involved in the future voting. There'll be a poll on the end of this video. Keep the comments coming in. We absolutely love them. Thank you very much for taking me to 30,000 subscribers as well, by the way.
Well done.
That happened very recently as we're recording this, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.